This is notable insofar as Knob Creek hasn't made much of an appearance on our show.
No, we got a bunch of it, though.
A whole mess of it?
Yeah, a metric crap ton.
Not as much as your collection of Elijah Craig, but you do have a lot of Knob Creek.
Yeah, well, Knob Creek doesn't do the barrel proof, multiple times a year offerings.
Yeah, the ABC offerings.
Yeah, they've got their standard stuff that everybody sees. They've got their Knob Creek 12. We got a couple special ones.
We'll get into this particular release in a moment. What's your opinion on Knob Creek in general?
I love Knob Creek. So, who is Knob Creek? Knob Creek is produced by Jim Beam.
Now, what is Jim Beam known for?
Fucking every nonsensical bourbon in the world.
Indeed. They're notable for having a nuttier flavor profile, especially in their lower end offerings where it tastes like, what's that note you described? Boiled peanut shells?
Boiled peanut shells. So let's talk about this. So
yes.
Jim Beam makes, if you go into any liquor store, they got
Jim Beam.
15 different regular Jim Beam offerings.
Which are very nice. They have a screw cap.
Yeah, so it's good.
Usually they have a handle for more
economic.
What's the word? For more accessible
sure.
whiskey drinking.
Sure, and it's proof down at 80 proof.
So
you got your Jim Beam stuff. Jim Beam also produces Basil Hayden's,
which is like the fancy bottle with a metal buckle on it, and it's.
I don't know that it's any better than the regular Jim Beam stuff.
I've had Basil Hayden's. You're not missing anything.
Yeah.
It's just a fancy bottle to have at like dive bars, so you think.
Well, it was that's what it was. It was made for restaurants and bars to like upsell Jim Beam and put it in a fancy label and put a different name. Now, where it gets interesting is Jim Beam also makes the Old Granddad line.
Which I'm a big fan of, not regular Old Granddad.
Yeah, but like the Bonded.
The Bonded is delicious. That's one of my dailies.
We've
the
got the Bonded 7-year. They've got the 114. They've got the 114 7-year. So they've done a lot with that line. But Jim Beam also makes Knob Creek.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Beam also makes Booker's. Jim Beam also makes the Little Bucks. Jim Beam. What's the other one I'm thinking?
What's the other one you're thinking?
Oh, crap. Damn it. Baker's?
Baker? Oh, yeah, Baker's.
So Beam makes Baker's as well, the 7-year and the 13-year. So Jim Beam has their hands in a lot of products.
It's a big organization. It just doesn't have the prestige of, say, Buffalo Trace. Or, even Jack Daniels, because Jack Daniels does have some... they have the low end of the market down pat, but Jack Daniels has made a push, especially in the last decade, to really rehabilitate their reputation. Jim Beam hasn't. I like Old Granddad, but regular old Jim Beam is... Either way, Knob Creek is delicious.
Yeah. So I came across this whilst I was up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Indeed.
This is another Specs pick. This is, I believe, 11 years old, 125 and a half proof, which caught my attention because most of the Knob Creek barrel proof stuff comes in right at around 120.
It's also rather pleasant. You said this is a 11-year age statement, right?
I believe it says 11 years.
That's pretty high for an 11-year.
Yeah.
125 proof. Hey, for those of you just tuning in, why do higher age statement whiskeys, particularly bourbons, usually proof it way down?
Just because of the oak tannins, to be honest with you. It's just if you've got...
What is the danger of oak tannins?
Well, bourbons in particular can become very overly oaked and very bitter. So there's a wood sugar in these barrels that if it's just too long in the barrel, the whiskey interacting with it, it tends to get tannic. It would be, I'm trying to think of the same kind of thing in the real world, but maybe think of sweet tea.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You put a bunch of tea bags, you do your sun tea or whatever, right? And you leave it out for a day, and then you had your sugar, you got sweet tea. Well, what happens if you leave that tea in the summertime, out in the direct sun for 5 days.
What does happen?
It's going to get very bitter,
very quick,
very tannic, and you're going to have to add probably 5 times more the sugar to make it drinkable. Well, in bourbon, you can't add anything.
Mm-hmm. Similar comparison to cooking. It's what over oaked bourbon is the equivalent of like burning whatever you're trying to make. Mm-hmm. It's like burnt eggs.
Yeah. You burn the shit out of your eggs and
just have to live with it.
You can't fix it.
Nope.
Right. There's no way to get that off. So, wow, that's.
Oh, you already tried it?
Yeah. Wow, that's nuttier than I. Now it's been years since I've had one of these. But they really leaned into the Jim Beam.
Oh, that's very on profile for Jim Beam.
Yeah, they really leaned into the.
You had Old Granddad 114. What was it? 7-year age date?
Oh, the 7-year. Yeah.
You had it recently at a restaurant.
Yeah.
Similar or different?
I took notes. Notes are not in the room.
Mm-hmm. But they're in your head, allegedly.
A little sweeter.
Okay.
Imagine like a. This is a terrible reference, but imagine like a Jif peanut butter with like honey. You know what I mean? As opposed to regular Jif peanut butter. Well, we haven't bought that shit in
half a decade.
15 years.
Yeah, probably 15 years.
But still. But yeah, we'll go back.
This is interesting.
Yeah, it's a little nuttier than I'd expected because I don't get this in the non-pre 12.
Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. However, it's contrary to what we usually look for.
Yeah, it's like powdered sugar and peanut powder. Oh, you know what it reminds me of?
What does it remind you of?
It's like, you know my peanut butter powder that I put in my protein shakes?
Oh, it reminds you of that?
It's like that, but with like a little dusting of powdered sugar.
I see.
But yeah, very heavy on the peanuts, boy. They went deep on this one.
You know what? Considering our last episode on the short barrel, which was also a Spec pick, I wonder if they intentionally went off profile for this, because I don't remember non-pre being this nutty either.
No, they went. If the short barrel guys went right field, these guys went left field. Yeah. Well, and I tell you what, and I don't even know that I. This is going to sound weird because I love whiskey, but I don't know that I enjoy that because it's very ethanol forward.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So here, give this a smell. So it's more cherry forward than anything.
Proof sounds. The proof definitely stands out. I just drink this.
I don't think this sword pick is really.
Wow. I mean, almost similar ages. Now they rack the proof up.
25 and a half points.
Wish I could talk today, but
you can't talk any of it.
They racked the proof up on that one. It's for Knob Creek 125 and a half. I'm wondering why. That's my question. Because, I don't, and I've said this a million times on here before, or at least 100.
And I'll say it a million times.
At least 100 times, because that's how many episodes we've done. But, I'm not going to crap on people for producing something that I can't produce. But my question is to the people that picked this, and what was in your brain? Why? Because this is very ethanol forward. It reminds me when we did the Old Forester.
Oh, yeah?
The 100 proof to the 130 proof or whatever it was.
I go a different direction. It reminds me of that 1693, the Texas whiskey. Because I remember that being very ethanol forward. Not the heavy corn notes, but the high alcohol content.
But this is too ethanol forward and it's too nutty. Yeah. Okay, so 2 videos today.
This is a good juxtaposition.
One was solid. This I'll probably put on the shelf and not touch it again.
This is a worthwhile example of the pitfalls of store picks, particularly from big box stores, i.e. Specs. Occasionally you'll get something that's really, really interesting, occasionally you get something that's really, really interesting, but in a weirder way.
Maybe a little peanut and chocolate.
I can see that. Sure.
However, this is one that here's the caveat. If you had a nutty cigar, I'd pour it with this.
Oh, sure.
Because the nuttiness of the cigar and the nuttiness of the bourbon would like play well together.
But even then, I prefer the more tamed down nuttiness of an old Grandad Bonded compared to this.
Yeah, this is okay. 1 for 2. They can't all be winners. This bottle in particular, I mean, we just opened it, so it's not like it's sat here. Maybe in 6 months it'll change, but
we'll see what happens to it.
That's a bummer. I hate having bummer conversations.
Generally speaking, though, we do like Knob Creek. Knob Creek is quite good. They're also notable because like what we were just smelling was the 12-year, and it's nice because it's not over oaked, which 12-year bourbon has a tendency to be. The 15-year, however, does taste like face planted industry.
I thought that was over oaked, at least the one we had.
Mm-hmm. Which may have been a store pick or a single barrel or what have you.
It could have been, who knows. But yeah. Anyway, you win some, you lose some.
What did we not like about this?
It's for me, it's too ethanol forward.
Describe that note, because you usually get that in inexpensive whiskey, right?
Typically it's high proof.
High proof, but...
Yeah, high proof typically, but it's when it's so alcohol forward.
That blasts everything.
It just blasted everything out of my nose.
Which doesn't have anything to do with the proof, because you taste the Cowboy bourbon, that's like 140 proof, and it's not very ethanol forward.
No. So it just depends how it's done. I mean, this for an 11-year-old, but that makes sense though. If at their rick houses or wherever they pulled this from, if this aged for another year and they proofed it down to 100, maybe it could be a Knob Creek 12. But that's how tight some of these differences can be.
How tight the window is.
Yeah, and so when they pulled samples on this and then let the specs taste them, it's like, I don't know. Was it just, we're Knob Creek, you want to do a cool pick, and this was what the people at the specs picked, or was it like, bro, we got to get rid of this fucking barrel? I don't know. I wasn't there.
Be wary of high proof, high age statements.
High proof doesn't always mean everything, right?
Oh no, definitely not.